Hello folks, welcome to the Lease Deals of the Week, sponsored by ALA Insurance, link in the video description and on a QR code on your screen. And of course I'm using leasing.com for this. There's a link to leasing.com in the video description and again a QR code on your screen. We're starting off with the EVs, then we're looking at plug-in hybrids, then we've got petrol and diesel, and then finally we've got a few commercials at the end of the video for you. Massive thanks to everyone that's watched and put a comment and a thumbs up on my Munich content. Just got a couple of shorts to go out now, but aside from that, that's it. I'm absolutely cream crackered, folks. It's been a big week. Just wanted to say massive thanks for all the support. A mixture of 2 and 3 year deals in this one, as always, and we've got 10,000 miles a year with 3 months up front on, I think, all of them. Starting off with the Ford Puma Gen E, still deals around on these. There's the Select 43 kilowatt hour automatic, 233 miles of range. 556 litres of boot space, 8 seconds to 62, and we're just looking at $655 up front and £218 a month over 2 years, and that's a 10,000 mile a year deal. We've spoken about this one previously, but obviously it's an absolutely unbelievable deal at the moment. They're in stock, numbers are limited, so get on it. Link in the video description and on that QR code. This is a £30,000 car and there's a lot to like about that deal. Peugeot e-Rifter Estate is the GT Long, 52 kilowatt hour, 199 miles of range, 11.3 seconds to 62, over 1,000 litres of boot space, £257 a month. And you're looking at a total upfront of about 1,150 quid on this one. That's a £36,000 car that's yours for 257 a month. It's a factory order though, delivery within 3 to 6 months on that. So not one to go for if you're after something quickly. If you do want something quite quickly though, the MG4 is still stunning value. This is the Trophy Long Range Edition. That's my sweet spot of the entire range by far. I've got the best in terms of spec and battery. And for those of you that don't need to beat a Lambo off the lights, it will still do 7.9 seconds to 62. It's still rear wheel drive, which is the great thing about the MG4 in my opinion. 270 miles of range, 289 litres of boot space, fully electric. Yours for £265 a month and 795 quid up front. No broker fee on that one, just a £795 initial payment. Next, we've got the VW ID3, and this is the one with the big battery. It's the Match Pro S. You've got 350 miles of range, 385 litres of boot space, 8.2 seconds to 62, 24-month deal. I've got £870 as your initial payment, a £269 broker fee, £290 a month gets you in one of those. Very good, practical little car that hasn't got too many compromises. The Leap Motor C10, seen silly deals on these recently. Currently, this is a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year, 950 quid up front and 282 a month, 261 miles of range, 370 litres of boot space, 7.5 seconds to 62. And that one's got 20-inch alloys on it. 36.5 grand if you wanted to buy one of those. And you can imagine what the depreciation would be like, can't you? So if you think this one would do the trick for you, I think leasing is a great way to go with it. Skoda Enyaq Estate. This is, I can't remember seeing a Skoda Enyaq under 300 quid before. It is the smaller battery one, but that gives you 269 miles of range, 585 litres of boot space, 8.1 seconds to 62. 885 is the initial payment, 240 is the broker fee, and then you're looking at £295 a month for 2 years on 10,000 miles a year. By the way, people have said to me they missed the price tracker from my old videos. All I'm going to say about that is watch this space, and if something does come into my videos in future, I hope it will be very worthwhile and very, very transparent. Okay, next we've got the Renault Megane. It's the Techno Comfort Range 60, 280 miles of range, 7.5 seconds to 62, 440 litres of boot space, 20-inch alloy wheels. It's on a 10,000 mile a year, 3-year deal. Up front, including the broker fee, about 1,200 quid. And then £300 a month, all bar the shouting. It's a £36,000 car. It's 300 quid a month, and it looks decent value at that. Next, we've got the Ioniq 6 Premium, 77 kilowatt hour, 339 miles of range, 7.4 seconds to 62. Got around about 400 litre boot in one of those. It's a great big motorway mile muncher. About 1,450 up front and then 370 a month. But if you were to buy one of those, £47,000. That really does look like a bit of value. Of course, it's on the 800 volt architecture, so you've got super fast charging. Peugeot E5008 estate. This is the GT 73 kilowatt hour, 308 miles of range, 348 litres of boot space, but that's with all the seats up. With the back seats down, it's going to be more like 800 litres of space. 9.7 seconds to 62. And I've already given it away. It is a 7-seat electric SUV, and there aren't loads and loads of those around at the moment. 9.7 seconds to 62, so it's not the quickest thing in the world, but 308 miles of range, 7 seats in it. Maybe it's one for you. 1,350 up front and 386 a month on a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Genesis GV60 estate. This one's in stock, and this is an absolute bargain. 321 miles of range, 7.8 seconds to 62, 432 litres of boot space. A 3-year deal, 1,559 up front altogether, and then £401 a month. It's a £54,000 car. It's a very luxurious, very competent, very capable electric car. Again, it's on 800 volt architecture, so you've got super rapid charging. It's a beautiful thing to drive. It's a lovely thing to sit inside. There is a revised sort of facelift version on the way. I'm guessing this is one of the existing models rather than a facelift, but you can always ask the broker about that. It's also got the comfort pack included. That is absolutely bags of value. I'd have one of those tomorrow because it's a brilliant car, and I think at 401 quid, that's a great deal. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. Polestar 4 estate, in terms of great deals, again, this is delivering. This is a £68,000 car, and I want you to bear that in mind. We're looking at nearly 70 grand to buy this car. £492 a month, about 1,100 quid up front, all told. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. 367 miles of range, 3.8 seconds to 62, which is insane. 526 litres of boot space, 20-inch alloys. I did a review on one of these recently. Go and check that out. It's just a big monster of a car. It goes like stink. It's full of tech. It's a wonderful thing. 492 quid a month gets you into one of those. Volkswagen ID7 Taurus, the 4Motion GTX. At 5.5 seconds to 62, 359 miles of range, 605 litres of boot space, 20-inch alloys. It's absolute top of the tree when it comes to the VW ID7 Tourer. It's got exterior pack and panoramic roof. 2-year deal on this one. Up front on it, you're looking at about 1,800 quid and then 515 a month. Folks, if you're considering any of these cars, please check out my wonderful sponsors, ALA Insurance, and their gap insurance product. I've spoken about gap insurance a lot, and hopefully most of you know what that's all about by now. So please do check out my video on that if you need any further clarification. But they can also help you with things like car excess insurance, scratch and dent insurance, tyre and alloy wheel insurance, key cover, all those kind of things. Their gap insurance product is 5-star de facto rated. They've got a 99% claims payout rate, and they say you can save up to 75% compared to car dealership prices. Of course, with all their prices, use the code JIM10 at checkout and you'll save yourself 10%. A massive thanks to ALA, who are a brilliant sponsor and someone I wholeheartedly believe in. And I'm also a customer, and I think that speaks for itself. Right, plug-in hybrids. BYD Seal U estate. Look at this for a bit of value. 950 quid up front and 317 a month. 8.9 seconds to 62, 425 litres of boot space. And the Seal U is just a nice, big, comfortable, fairly luxurious family SUV. It's a plug-in hybrid, and it's 317 quid a month. Not a bad way to get started, I feel. Another big luxurious plug-in hybrid is the JQ7. It's the super hybrid system, luxury trim, automatic, obviously. 8.5 seconds to 62, 500 litres of boot space. They say if you have this thing with a full battery and a full tank of petrol, it'll do 700 miles before you have to stop. 1,300 quid up front, more or less, and £360 a month on a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. 35 grand if you were to buy one of those cars, by the way. And you know, that was the biggest selling plug-in hybrid in the UK last month, the 𝙇𝙄𝙉𝙆𝙎. Cupra Formentor 1.5 e-hybrid 204 V2 DSG automatic, 204 brake horsepower on this one, 345 litres of boot space, 7.9 seconds to 62. Crazy MPG figure quoted. All the WLTP figures on plug-in hybrids are daft and largely irrelevant. The good thing on these is you've got sort of around 60 miles all electric range, and of course you've also got that petrol engine. You end up getting more performance when you're driving. You can save a few quid on your petrol spend, and indeed do your local journeys on pure electric alone. And if you've got a cheap charging rate for that, it's going to cost you buttons. About $1,450 up front and then $363 a month on a 3-year deal. VW Passat Estate, the e-hybrid match DSG automatic, 8.1 seconds to 62, 510 litres of boot space, 3-year deal. We're looking at 1,500 quid up front and $386 a month on that. Mazda CX-60 2.5 litre plug-in hybrid exclusive line, just over 1,500 up front and just over 400 a month. 5.8 seconds to 62, 570 litres of boot space and 18-inch alloys on that bad boy. 47 grand nearly if you want to buy one of those, or £404 a month. The Audi A5 Saloon, this is a bit of a beaut. Apologies if my mic's picking this up, but there's a biblical storm outside. Audi A5 Saloon, this is the plug-in hybrid version. Obviously it's in this section of the video. Bags of power in this, 299 PS of power. It's the eQuattro Technic S-Tronic, 331 litres of boot space, 5.9 seconds to 62. It's a £49,000 car, but it's yours on a 3-year lease on 10,000 miles a year for 1,800 quid up front and $485 a month. Volkswagen Multivan Estate, the 1.5 litre TSI e-hybrid Life 4Motion DSG automatic, 9 seconds to 62, 7 seats in this one, 17-inch alloys. And I'm sure you've seen these around. They're often in sort of silver and orange, but they're showing you some lovely blue and white ones here, if my internet can ever keep up with it. 1637 is the initial payment. You've got 240 quid admin fee on that, broker fee, and then 545 a month. And that is a £54,000 vehicle that's very flexible, very practical, great to drive, by the way. I've driven one of those a couple of times, and it really is a lovely thing. People tend to fall in love with them, I think. BMW 5 Series Saloon 530e M Sport, 6.3 seconds to 62, 520 litres of boot space, 19-inch alloys, 3-year deal on this one, 10,000 miles a year, 1,700 up front, 567 a month. And on a £59,500 car, that looks like a deal. We've then got a somewhat similar deal on a £62,500 car. It's the BMW X3. It's the xDrive 30e M Sport Auto with the Pro Pack. 6.2 seconds to 62, 460 litres of boot space. 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at about £2,000 up front and 577 a month to get you in that big beast of a BMW. Volvo XC60. It's the T8 plug-in hybrid, ultra bright with the Geartronic automatic. 4.9 seconds to 62. So this will get you down the road with a fair bit of pace. 468 litres of boot space. Volvo's just Volvo, you know, brilliant comfort, probably the best seats in the business, amazing build quality, and they just do the job, don't they? Just over £2,000 up front and £600 a month. And that's on a 3-year deal. We've seen this one a couple of times recently. It's the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the limited spec, 6.3 seconds to 62, 533 litres of boot space, 2,250 up front and 672 a month. That is, of course, 4-wheel drive. It is extremely well spec'd. You've even got a passenger side screen in that. And I don't know, a lot of people overlook them in this country. In the US, there are bags of them on the road, but you don't see tons of them in this country. but, you know, dare to be different. About $2,250 up front, $672 a month. Gets you one of those for 3 years on 10,000 miles a year. And look at the price of it if you were to buy it. 72 grand. Onto the petrols and diesels. We've got the Jeep Avenger hatchback 1.2 Summit. This one's in stock. A grand up front, $250 a month. 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. 10.6 to 62, 321 litres of boot space, 18-inch alloys. Very good looking little car, the Avenger. There you go. And like a lot of Stellantis cars, it's possibly a good thing to have while it's got full manufacturer's warranty. Have to give a shout out to the sat-nav on these. They share them with Fiat. And they're actually very good. I think a lot better than some of the ones in some of the other Stellantis vehicles. Nissan Qashqai hatchback 1.3 𝙇𝙄𝙉𝙆𝙎 mild hybrid N connector with the glass roof. Still the best bang for buck you can get, pretty much, if you're looking for a standard sort of petrol car, although it is a mild hybrid. So, you know, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. Looking at just over a grand up front and $267 a month, which I think is phenomenal value for that car. Nothing exceptional about it whatsoever, but the Qashqai just does everything very well. I have got one in for a full review fairly soon, actually. Hyundai Kona hatchbacks, the 1.6 hybrid, 129 Advance, with the dual clutch automatic transmission, 466 litres of boot space. 0 to 62 in 12 seconds, so it's not that quick, but it's not really about that, is it? 60 mpg, and that's the figure we need to be looking at, 60 mpg. A grand up front, $272 a month on a 3-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. Kia Sportage Estate 1.6T GDI. It's the mild hybrid. It's in 2 spec. It's got the automatic gearbox, 562 litres of boot space, 9.9 seconds to 62, 44 mpg. It hasn't got an automatic gearbox. It's a manual. Sorry about that. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, about 1,050, 1,060 up front, and $275 a month. We've seen this one a bit lately as well. It's the 1.5 diesel version of the Citroen C5 Aircross in Max Edition. 45 mpg, 10.6 seconds to 62, 720 litres of boot space, 3 proper seats in the back, so you could have 3 car seats or 2 car seats and an adult without any problems. We are looking at 1,200 quid up front and 286 a month on a 3-year deal with 10,000 miles a year. Vauxhall Grandland hatchbacks, the 1.2 hybrid 145 GS automatic, 50 mpg, 10.2 seconds to 62, and 550 litres of boot space. 24-month deal, this one, on 10,000 miles a year. You look at an upfront total of around about 1,150 quid and $295 a month. And that seems to be giving you a hell of a lot for that sort of money. Quite an impressive looking interior on these. Got a decent sized boot. And that's probably a decent alternative to the Nissan Qashqai. Although, I don't know, it's hard to beat the value on the Qashqai at the moment. Toyota CHR hatchbacks, the 1.8 hybrid Icon CVT, 60 mpg, 10.2 seconds to 62, and 447 litres of boot space. The rear space in these is not fantastic. The headroom's a little bit tight, but if you're generally like a 1 person in a car, 2 people in a car, these are exceptional. They're really, really good. I was blown away by how good this was actually when I had one in for test. And 60 mpg is not just one of those daft unattainable figures. You can get very close to that in the real world without particularly trying, and it's a Toyota. 36-month deal, 10,000 miles a year, roughly 1,200 quid up front and £309 a month. Volkswagen T-Roc hatchbacks, the 1.5 TSI Black Edition Plus with the automatic gearbox. Have to assume it's the outgoing version of this, but check with the broker. It might be the brand new edition. I just don't think it will be. 1,270 up front and 333 a month. 45 mpg, 8.4 seconds to 62, 445 litres of boot space. Around about 1,270 up front and 333 a month on that one. Hyundai Tucson Estate 1.5 hybrid N-Line automatic, 3-year deal on this one. We are looking at 1,200 quid up front and 348 a month, 49 mpg, 616 litres of boot space, 8.2 seconds to 62. Can't go too far wrong with the Tucson. it's always one of the best selling cars on any leasing site. Certainly any that I've ever spoken to. If you ask them the top 3 cars, the Tucson's always in it. They shift bucket loads of them, and they do that for a reason. They're blooming good. Cupra Terramar hatchback, 1.5 ETSI 150 V2 automatic, 47 mpg, 540 litres of boot space, 9.3 seconds to 62. This is a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. I've just been having a poke around in one of these in Munich, and like pretty much every Cupra I've been in, I just like it. I just think they've got so much more personality than their standard sort of VW equivalents, and it's certainly a very striking car in the flesh, despite just being a sort of mid-size SUV, really. 1,100 up front, 366 a month on a 2-year deal. Looks like great value. The Golf GTI is still with us. The automatic version, 40 mpg, 5.9 seconds to 62, 374 litres of boot space. Folks, get a petrol Golf GTI while you still can, because they will soon be going the way of the dodo, it seems. Just under 1,500 quid up front, 404 a month. It's a 3-year deal on this little Golf GTI, 10,000 miles a year. Delivery within 1 to 2 months. It's got the automatic gearbox. It's got the all-important check seats. It's still very much a Golf GTI. Great looking thing. It's a brilliant car to drive. I wholeheartedly recommend having a look at one of those, as I do with this, the Audi A5 Avant 2-litre TFSI 150 S-Line S-Tronic, 41 mpg, 9.8 seconds to 62, and 476 litres of boot space. You're looking at 1,650 up front and 451 a month on a 2-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. Brilliant car. It's basically the new version of the A4 estate. Audi have just been messing around with their nomenclature for a little while. Cool, didn't know I had that one in me today. VW Touareg Estate is the 3-litre V6 diesel 4Motion 286 brake horsepower black edition with the Tiptronic automatic gearbox, 34 mpg, 6.4 seconds to 62 and 810 litres of boot space. This thing's an absolute towing machine. It'll rip down motorways all day long. You've got bags of performance. It's got that big torquey diesel engine, £682 a month with about 2,300 up front on a 3-year, 10,000 mile deal. Onto the vans, we've got an electric one for you, a petrol one for you, or a diesel one, I can't quite remember, and we've got quite an exciting one. The VW ID Buzz Cargo is the Commerce 79 kilowatt hour automatic, 278 miles of range, 7.9 seconds to 62. Up front on that one's 929, and then you're £310 a month. These prices are excluding VAT, by the way, because the vans are like business leases essentially, so they're shown excluding VAT. Just bear that in mind. Ford Transit Custom 320 L1, it was the diesel, 2-litre EcoBlue, 136 PS of power, 39 mpg, 14.5 seconds to 62. It's a Transit, you know what it is. 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year is £1,000 up front and 338 a month. And then we've got the Land Rover Defender 90 diesel. This is the commercial version of it, okay? Just have a look at this. 33 mpg, 6.9 seconds to 62, 20-inch alloys, 1,500 up front and 500 quid a month. Now, if you went for the normal passenger version of this car, the prices would be extremely different. This one, by the way, is the D250 hardtop X Dynamic SE automatic. So there's a lot going for this at this kind of money. 1,500 up front, 497 a month, plus VAT, obviously. And it gets you one of these, which certainly has a bit of road presence, doesn't it? It's basically a postcode. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Huge thanks to ALA for sponsoring today's video. Their link is, of course, in the video description and on a QR code on your screen. And huge thanks to my partners at leasing.com. There's a link in the video description for this one, and again, a QR code on screen. Please use that. All these partners using that link tells them I sent you, and that means they're more likely to support me in future, I guess. So thanks for that, because I can't do this without them. Again, massive thanks to all the people that watch the Munich videos. If you haven't done so yet, please go and find those. There are 2 or 3 videos out at the moment, just walking around the show and showing you what's going on there. A little bit of fun in those as well, so hopefully you enjoy. Thanks again. See you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.